Good afternoon. In this video, we're going to go over this past week's trades and the weekly recap. Before I get into the trades for this past week, I did finish the week with 10 wins, 4 losses for a win rate of 60%. Below my weekly goal. Think statistically it's my worst week, but I had a green week because I had a lot of good common trades. But 3 of my 4 losses was yesterday alone. They weren't even that big of losses. They were very, very tiny. But I got chopped to death and just timed badly yesterday. So it is what it is, and you just learn from your losses and move on. And that's what hopefully next week will be a little more volatile and not as choppy, because this past week was just very, very choppy. And even if you timed it right, the gains just weren't there in the large caps, or at least the ones I trade. So and that is part of my process. I don't chase everything that moves like everybody else. I stick to the tickers I know. That's why my win rate is so high. It's because I stick to stocks that I know. And the worst part is the stocks that you play, if they're choppy, there's not much action. So that's just the way it is. So if you're not in the room, you can find the link in the description of the video and the bio section of social media. With that said, I'll start with, let's see. Let's see, on Monday, I had 4 plays, 4 wins. I started out the week actually really good until Friday. So yeah, I was like at 10 wins and 1 loss Friday, so I was at a 90% win rate for the week, and Friday just kind of like messed it up. So, but I'm not going to dwell on it. Now, first play was Baba. I had Baba puts at, let's see, 933 right at open. I remember this because Baba had a massive gap up. Anytime Baba has a massive gap up, or even a pretty decent gap up, almost 90% of the time it fills the gap at open. It's almost the closest thing to a sure play you can find, is that when Baba gaps up, it's almost certain it's going to fill the gap at open. So, but I remember when it opened up, toss was lagging, and the option prices would not adjust, recalculate to the gap up. Then when they finally did, I jumped in. So they went from 70 cents to $1.37, almost 100% on that move down. That was a good play. Then I had Disney. Disney puts on Monday the 1st right there. Now Disney I was watching because it's been struggling here in the 180 range. I got it at 1013, which is right here, right in this candle. It popped up, rejected the 181, went through VWAP, and I got it right here when it broke below these 180 candles right here. That's where I grabbed it, and the 177.50 puts went from 64 cents to 86. Not much of a drop. That's the thing that's been with Disney, is that like Disney and Apple, that just the prices and the options just haven't been moving much lately. So it's been kind of like a waste of time. So yeah, I really thought that would have gone a little more than what it did, but it just didn't. Then I ended up grabbing SPY calls at let's see, 1111 on the 1st, which is right here. Now, as you can see, it had this big dump right here. That's why we were in Baba at that time. I grabbed him right at this, right here. Now, what I was watching for was this bounce off the RCT trend line. This thing is a magnet. When a price gets, like, if you look right here, price gets away from it, it acts as a magnet, pulls it down. When it drops too much, it acts as a magnet, pulls it back up. This thing is just... it's a magnet. You can play it on both sides. Just understand what you're doing, which way the RCT trend line is pointing. It's pointing up, so you can have better success just buying the bottoms and just pulling up. So I got it right here. The 420 calls at 68 cents, and they went to 87 cents right there. Not as much of a strong move as I was hoping for, especially being in the money. I mean, it looks like a big move, but it's really not. It went from 419.98, we'll just say 420 to 420.46. Only a 45%, 45-cent move. I mean, it's not that much, but it did go almost 20 cents. Not, I mean, I know that's not much, but when you talk about 20 cents to 68 cents, I mean, that's close to 30%. So that's pretty good percentage wise. Now, the last play was SPX calls. I got them at 42.10 calls at 110 at 218, which is right here in this candle. No, 218. Right here. I'm trying to make sure I got the time right. 218. So I got it right here. Right in through here is where I got it. Now, I think I remember seeing... I'll switch it to SPX so you can actually see the numbers. Being expiration day, more risky, but you also bigger rewards. Where's the first? Right here. Now, let's see. 218, which is right here. I got it right here to the 20 EMA. Now, I'm looking at the 42.10 calls, and the price at this point is at 42.04, so it's only 6 points out of going in the money. So a small push like this is going to send it, and that's exactly what happened. And a small little push right here almost went in the money, and those SPX calls almost went 150% right there. Went over 150% just in that little 5-6 point move right there. So I mean, they were just the at the money calls were so cheap, and I noticed that right off the bat. I was like, wow, these are really close to at the money, and they're really cheap. And I just a small push, and those things are gonna rocket. So that's what I ended up doing. And toss froze, so I'm gonna have to pause the video for a second to make sure. Oh no, it didn't. I froze. I don't know why I did that. Then on Tuesday, I had 3 wins and 1 loss, it looks like. Yep. Let's see. Now I grabbed 420 puts at 932 right at open, right when it dumped below right here. As you can see, it started to go up and it chopped, and once it broke below this 420 20 cents area right here is where I ended up grabbing it for a push down. They went from 80 cents to $1.05 on those 420 puts, and this is Tuesday. Oh, that Wednesday. I forgot Monday was Memorial Day. So yeah, second was Wednesday, so that was an expiration day too. Yeah, we had 3 expiration days instead of being Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Because of the holiday, it was Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday. So this was an expiration day too. So yeah, I went 80 cents from 80 cents to $1.05 in that little drop right there. Then I ended up grabbing 421 puts at 1035, which is right here. Now I grabbed them right here thinking that we were going to break down right there. We didn't. It popped a little bit, but it was diverging right there. Histogram is going down as it's going up, so I held onto it. And they went from 79 cents to $1 after the chop. It got chopped to death right here, but it did come back down and going green. So 79 cents to $1, that ended up working out. Then Tesla, I had Tesla burned me twice this week. Those were 2 of my losers, and actually almost 3, but one of them ended up coming into going green. But I'll get to that when we get to that. But Tesla, I had Tesla calls at Tesla calls. Make sure I get the right day here. 630 calls at 1239, which is right. Right here. I grabbed the 630 calls at $1.87, and let's see, they ended up being a loser. I typed it. I put on the image that it was a win. It was not a win. It was a loss. Now, what happened on this was I was looking at the bullish divergence right here, so I made a lower low, and the histogram made a higher low. So I was more confident that this was actually going to pop to at least the 20 EMA or VWAP, and it didn't. I got quickly smashed, so it didn't kind of like squeeze or get any momentum behind it to get to this 608 area. It just kind of just flopped. So then it came back up right here, and this is where I ended up getting out. So they got just in this little drop, they got chopped. They were too far out of the money. The 630 is way up here. So I had it at $1.87. I got out at 160. So only a 17 cents loss. Very, 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 very tiny. I played Tesla kind of small because of the price and the volatility. Tesla just couldn't get out of its way this week. It was very annoying to trade. So yeah, I really thought it was gonna get back up to the 608 area and possibly squeeze to like 615, but it just didn't work out. No momentum could get behind it. Then I had SPX again on the second, which is right here. Now, I mean, the week was good until Friday. So I had SPX 41.95 puts at 207, which is right here. Now, 207. Yeah, right in here, I grabbed it for a little push down right there. Now, I was also looking at this too. The puts were so insanely cheap. I mean, you're talking right now, it's at 42.01. And the 41.95 puts were at $1.40. And this little push right here, this little, what was that? 3-point push, they went from $1.40 to $3 right there, just in that little drop right there. I really thought once we broke below the lower day right here, and we broke below this, it was going to just dump, but it actually held support right there. But that little thing right there, whenever SPX gives you 50 cents to $1, just take it. I mean, if you're going to sit there and be greedy, you're just going to pigs get slaughtered. You don't know if it's going to go 100% or 1,000%. They could quickly reverse just like it did right here, and you could have lost, a dollar move right there just by being greedy. And when you have a dollar move like that, you just need to take it. I mean, if you want to stay in and just turn into a loser, that's up to you, but I am not. That's not how I play. So then on the third, I had 3 winners. See, SPY puts. I had SPY puts on the third. Right here. 938. I grabbed it right here and it broke down. It broke down below. I think I grabbed it right in here when it broke below the 417.50 area below VWAP. I got the 415 puts at 85 cents. They went to $1.18. Now this is a non-expiration day, so I had to go a little bit out of the money. That's why the drop looks substantial, but just it just didn't end up that way. Let me just make sure to see if that's exactly where I bought it. I want to actually see the time. Let's see, 9:38. Well, it looks like I bought it right here, the break a low, pre-market low. Yeah, that's where I ended up grabbing it, not up here. I grabbed it down here. So, yeah, they went from 85 cents to $1.18 right there in that little push. Now, I had Tesla puts. Now, Tesla, okay, come on. Why isn't Tesla coming up? Tesla just couldn't get, the last 2 weeks, it just does not want to get out of its own way. Every time it starts to break out, it flops. It breaks out, flops. Tries to break out, flops, and it just ends up dumping. So it just can't get out of its own way. And I ended up grabbing it right here at 10.18. Was it right here? No, right here. That candle right there. As you can see, it tried to get momentum, slam, pop back up. It didn't break the high, and it got started to get slammed. That went quickly through VWAP. This is where I grabbed it. And it got popped up. It did break high day just a little bit. Then it chopped. I still had it. And then it just got slammed with the news. I don't remember what the news was, but it had news and it just got slammed. And that was just dumb luck. I mean, that was just news just came out and went in my favor, and it just ended up working out really well. So those 560 puts I got at $1.54, which I got right here, they got chopped to death. I think back at this point in time, before the news came, I think they were right around 65 cents, if I remember correctly. And they just went to $4.85, went 200% plus. That's just an insane. Got lucky on the news, and I didn't hold all the way through, but I know many in the room did. I was happy that my position turned green and got out with some small profits and just took them. Then I ended up grabbing Facebook calls on let's see, at 117, which is right here on this little breakout. Got the 330 calls at 60 cents. It did break out just a little bit, and they went from 60 cents to 87 cents, and it just was a failed breakout. It did have its monster run on Friday. Now Friday I had obviously the 3 losers. I didn't post my stats for yesterday. Okay, I'll have to go in the room and look at those. Okay, now yesterday I took BABA puts right here. I took them at 9.35. It gapped up a little bit. Took them at 9.35, 215. The 215 puts were at 30 cents right here, and I thought for sure it was gonna drop and go down to the 216 area, but it just didn't. It dropped and it popped. I just stay elevated, but I was looking at it from the point of view that it's set to 217, 50, 218. That 30 cents for being at the money, and BABA can easily drop a couple dollars or a few dollars, and that risk reward is right there. So it could have been a good play, but at 30 cents, I thought it was worth the risk, and ended up being a loser. So then I ended up having Tesla again. Now Tesla was one that was very infuriating. It just couldn't get out of its own way. I got the 585 puts at 10.31. Now I only had like 5 contracts, and so I didn't have that much into it. At let's see, 10.31, which is right here. When it broke below this area, I thought it was going to come down, and it didn't. It just chopped and chopped and chopped and chopped. And as you could see, it was making lower highs, and it was starting to come down. And so I added to the position at 70 cents right here, and it just popped on me. So, I mean, I don't average down on expiration days, but the way it was making lower highs, I thought for sure that the selling pressure was going to push through the 200 EMA and the VWAP, and it was just going to dump. So I was willing to take that chance. Plus, I already I took a short position on Roku, so I covered all my losses for BABA and Tesla at that point by playing the Roku short in commons. So I was not worried about adding to a position because I had gains. I had gains to play with. So when you have profits, when you playing lottos with profits, you don't really have no emotion. So that's what I like to do. Build the cushion and use the cushion to play lottos, and you just eliminate all risk whatsoever. So I did end up taking another play. I ended up taking SPX at the end of the day. I just was very frustrated with BABA and Tesla, and I had a good week, and the week just did not end very well. Now, the last one was SPX 4220 puts at 223, which were 223 right here. For some reason I got it right here. 223. Let's look at the smaller time frame and see the exact time I got it. 223. I got it right here. I got it right before this little pop right in here. Now what I was doing, I was looking at the same thing, the last SPX. I was looking at, okay, it's at 42.28, and the 42.20 puts were 80 cents. So all it needs to do is drop 8 points, and which for SPX is not much. And even though it looks like a lot right here, it's really not. Let me bring it back up. You know, at this point, it just needs to drop from here to here, which is right where support is. You can see it, resistance, support. So I was looking at it only needs to drop 8 points. It can go in the money, and that's how they end up skyrocketing from like 80 cents to go into like $4 plus or something like that on moves like that. As long as the moves are sharp and fast and not choppy, they'll make a huge move. But it just didn't. It just went up, popped a little bit, then it just chopped, and it didn't go anywhere. So that one was a loss, the last loss of the week. So my losers weren't bad, really bad decisions. They just were untimed. I timed them wrong. They just Tesla was one that just was the only one that really irked me, because it looked like it was really gonna dump. It popped up really big, and it started to flag right here, but yet it couldn't break the flag. You get a bullish flag right there. It started to pop up, but it couldn't break higher day, so it's making a lower high and a lower high. I thought for sure that this thing was going to dump, and it was going to end up going down to 485 or even 480. Tesla loves to have these weird looks like that, and it didn't work out. So just looking at the other chart the other day. So yeah, so those were the trades this week. I mean, overall, wasn't a bad week, but I know that 60% sounds bad statistically, but I didn't really trade that much. When you're only making like 10-15 trades, it doesn't take many losers to make it go 60% or 80% or whatever. So I didn't want to trade that much on a short week for some reason. I don't know why. I just don't do as well during a short week. So that me knowing that, I took it easy this week. So next week's a full week, and we'll have to see what happens next week. And make sure you subscribe to the channel. Hopefully you're learning stuff by watching these, because if you don't watch these, you're not going to learn anything. You need to learn the process and understand what's going on. And you need to learn to be self-sufficient and not rely on others to make the trades, and see what I'm doing and adapt to market conditions. So hope to see you in your room, and please like the video.